How she can carry on a conversation, one question lead to another without pausing. Oh,
Yep. Well, and that's the thing, it's like over time, as you get to the conversation, well, it just sounds like.
the first one I went, I didn't say it.
Yeah.
The second one, there was one couple came in, started showing from. Of course, I had the cheeky. I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
Little bit comfortable, mostly comfortable,
Yes,
carry on the conversation, finding out what we want.
those steps.
Yeah.
Yep. Comfortable eventually becomes happy.
Yes, none of the repairs, I just help facilitate. And you wanna pay me like 5%? I'll pay for all of it. Yeah. That's the thing, you don't know how long you're gonna pay me.
Oh, so yeah.
Oh, look at the drag catting. Put it backward. Texting, drinking at the same time. That's enough, I'll just take one. How was everything? How was the Masters and the Kentucky Derby and
Went to all of that?
all of that?
God, you have such a terrible life.
I just got back last night. I
Did
think.
you? Oh, welcome back to real life.
Yeah, no. I think that's
It's fine. Yeah. Well, we have like our regulars, we have several out of town. Several out of town, so long time no see. Been traveling?
Yeah, I went to England for a week and then I shot over
And England too.
to Ireland for like 2 days for no reason. Last week, scouting trip.
You know, it's
People.
have a visit.
Yeah.
So my parents live in Suffolk, in England, and then my dad lives next to Turin. in Scotland.
Okay. So that's it.
Suffolk.
That's it.
So it's like the southeast. It's probably like an hour and a half to our train ride from London.
No, I was just, my favorite food.
Okay.
And then my buddy lives there, I went to stay with him. I think I'd say southeast.
Yeah.
Like it is about an hour
The
and a half.
Norwich football team, and that's the closest thing.
So he's like
Norwich.
north of, like, we have like 45 minutes to get right.
Mm,
So
okay.
that,
And then, wow.
No.
I've been on the roads over there, really.
Okay.
and it's like, I mean, it's right on
Yeah.
the coast, I think. Some coast, I don't know where I was.
Small and mighty, good morning, good morning. Yeah, small and mighty crew here today.
Yeah, very
Happy first, yeah, it is the first Tuesday in May. Isn't it crazy we're in May
Yeah.
already?
bananas.
35%, oh,
We're halfway to hurricane season.
oh.
Just kidding. Close enough.
Maybe turn the TV off and back on.
It's gonna make or break us, I can tell you that.
When does it officially begin?
June 1st.
Oh, plenty of time.
Officially, but like we usually, most of our storms are that impact us are usually around September, October.
Oh, like Helene and Milton.
Yeah.
What was the one we had last June?
June?
We had 3 last year.
Milton,
No, we had Milton and Helene were the devastation.
Oh, no, it.
Farrell.
Started with a D, didn't it?
Debbie.
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 That was in June.
When was it?
That was also in September, I thought.
That was in
No.
August.
That was
That's a
August,
heavy
yeah,
rain.
it was August.
Okay, that's another one. There we go, there we go, okay. Well, anyways, hurricanes are coming, but not anytime soon, so let's enjoy it until it gets here. Okay.
It's Monday for this thing.
Yes, that's fine, that's fine. So we are 35% of the way to the year. We're in week number 18. Which is absolutely crazy. For those of you that are following the DTD2, this week is the last names in your database that start with C and K. Next week is F and G.
Hello.
By the way, I meant to have each and every one of you when you walk in here. Yep, it's 1. Right there. Okay. It was working. Okay, well, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Hopefully you guys know that by heart. Well, Brad's getting working. All right, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Come on in, everybody. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay. All right, so, oh, while you're doing that, I can't click. There you go. All right, so who wants to read this? Anybody?
Building trust is a process. Trust results from consistent and predictable interaction over time.
Okay, what does that mean to you guys?
Transparent.
Yeah, being transparent, yeah.
Farming, not hunting.
Yeah, and relationship building, right? I mean, it takes time to build those relationships, and we're gonna get into that later in the meeting. Yet, when you first meet somebody, do you automatically trust them? No, it takes time, right? Time over time and building and solidifying that relationship and that, so, and it's consistent, right? So consistency is the key in building those relationships, which earns the trust. All right, yep, as you're clicking, okay, let's go backward, all right, I got it. Okay, so our mission for Keller Williams is to help you build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, so that you can have lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. So to build a career worth having, it comes from training and building that foundation so you can grow a sustainable, duplicatable business. A business worth owning is typically, by definition of business, is more than one person. So at some time you're going to have leverage. And we leverage through systems, tools, then people. And when you're just starting out, you're newer, the perfect leverage is Gulf Coast Closings. Abby, raise your hand, wave it in the air like you just didn't care. So she's a great first stop to leverage when you're looking for people leverage. Lives worth living, the purpose of business is to fund the truly perfect life. So we want to build that business, build a big database to build a big business, so you can build a big life. And experiences worth giving is, you know, the experiences we share with you as a market center, you share with your clients, and then we share with the community, which we have an opportunity to do this Thursday as a KW family, and we'll talk more about that. And then a legacy worth leaving. What impact do you want to have on this world when you depart it? Because we will. Is it a feeling? Is it a thought? Is it things? Is it money? Is it a charitable donation? So we have the opportunity to make all these things happen with intentionality and purpose. Any thoughts? All right, good class, all right. So birthdays that we're celebrating this past week, Rhoda, she is the one who does your DAs. Happy birthday yesterday, Rhoda, Cinco de Mayo. Mario is celebrating his birthday today. And Christine Welton, she's actually in with Cherie right now, but her birthday is also today. I didn't tell her happy birthday when she came in. Everybody tell her happy birthday. Lily.
Yeah.
And then Eduardo is on the 12th, so happy birthday to everybody. Anniversaries, we have Sylvia is celebrating 6 years this month, Ciro 2 years, and Jarrett 1. You can clap. I know you have to clap. Love clapping. Okay, so our May newcomers, so we have Quintavious Sweeting, and he goes by Q, so you don't have to remember that, he does go by Q, so we meet him and just say Q. So welcome to the team, Quintavious, or Q. And then Erin Kowalski, who just joined us, so Erin is right here, if you guys haven't met her. Welcome, Erin. You wanna tell us a little bit about your real estate journey, because this is not your first rodeo with Keller Williams.
Yeah, I know. I was a real estate agent in Wisconsin for the past 3.5 years. My husband and I relocated here just 5 months ago. And it took me a few brokerages to kind of just realize that Keller Williams just has the best training and they just follow through on a lot of things. So hence I am looking forward to just being on my own and starting from scratch. So it is a journey.
We're excited for you.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome. We're excited to have you. All right, and bucket fills. This is when we talk about, we want to celebrate, acknowledge, recognize, and just love on each other. So, I know that you had one
I
to
did, but she's
share.
not here, so.
Is Loretta on
Look,
here?
she is on here.
Oh, Loretta is on.
She is.
Can we put her, can we just pin her real quick? And Loretta, can you come off mute, Loretta?
Quickly.
We're gonna pin you for a second. She's. That's. All right, Miss Loretta,
Put them in there.
I'm gonna pretend like I'm Loretta. Miss Loretta.
My bucket fill is for you, mother-in-law.
Oh,
It really has been going to a lot of businesses for Red Day and getting donations from them, so honestly,
thank you.
Red Day would happen without her. I think we have over $10,000 because of her, so. I just wanted to say I appreciate you, whether you were supporting me because I was on the culture committee or you were voluntold to be on the committee. I love you. I'll bring these over to you with the kids later.
Okay. That's wonderful. Thank you. No, I appreciate you, Paula, for all you've done and being able to choose beds for kids. I don't know if I haven't posted it or anything, but the original article for Beds for Kids was Going to the Mattress, which was done by, or in the magazine of Lakewood Ranch Life. I went back and visited the managing editor and talked with him and told him about Red Day and how we found Beds for Kids. And he is sending a reporter and a photographer out on Thursday to Red Day to report on Keller Williams 2 and our support of Red Day and how it was found. So it's a grassroots story that they're going to develop. So I hope everyone's there.
Well, we're gonna make sure of it, Loretta. Thank you. We don't want your efforts to go unnoticed, so thank you so much. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Paula. Love you, daughter-in-law.
Awesome. Anyone else wanna highlight anybody? You're not gonna get flowers, but we can. Alright, well, we appreciate y'all and we appreciate y'all for being here. Click. It's not clicking. Alright, so we wanna recognize Michael. I'm not sure if he's on, but he just joined us a couple months ago and he got his first listing condo on Longboat Key. So congratulations, Mr. Michael. And I think he has another deal going too now too, doesn't he?
Shortly, yeah.
He just ended his full-time job
Yeah.
and is diving into this full-time now.
Yes.
Full-time career.
And he was focusing on Lakewood Ranch. He built a website, he's doing blogs, he's doing everything. So that's why I got it pretty quickly.
And not in legal grant.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Yeah, so Command, a little update for you all. Not sure if you're doing it or if you have the Command app downloaded. You should all have it downloaded. If not, get with me and I'll help you. But on your phone, you can go in the Command app. If you're working with somebody, call them through your phone. Hey, it's Brad, blah, blah, blah. And then when you hang up, it'll create a note. And in that note, once you do it a few times, it'll AI generate.
You have five
Yep.
interactions. So when you go to command in your phone and and I've shared this a lot, so when you go to the command app in your phone and it comes up. When you go to contacts in here, if you select that contact and you can call them right from your app. And the beautiful thing that I love about this is because we're supposed to log all of our interactions in our notes, right? So when you call this person, like I always do my mother, and then before she answers, hang up on her. Okay, hang up. Okay, and then it says add activity. So then I can click add activity and then I can just go to the notes and then voice to text. Hung up on mom once again because I'm training and then it's gonna save that interaction because I do this a lot with her, but though you guys should be, like you're on the go, you need to make your calls, you need to connect with people in your database. Do this. You can even log your text to them when you text from here. And it texts from your phone, it calls from your phone, it's not your Twilio, you don't need Twilio for this. And when you have 5 or more interactions that you've logged on their timeline, it's AI is gonna generate a summary of your interactions, so you can just look at one thing without having to go down the timeline. And seeing like, what are the highlights that I need to remember before I call them again.
Yep, and 2 things on it. One, the app is the red one, not the white one, so in case y'all don't have it downloaded, it's the red one. And then the second thing is, having good notes is very beneficial for you all to do. Reason being, I have made calls where I'm like, hey, how, nice talk, or I didn't even say that, I was like, hey, it's Brad, KW Coastal Living. I saw you were looking to sell your home. They're like, yeah, you called me yesterday. I didn't write notes, so I got yelled at. So learn from me, don't get yelled at, put some notes in there, and you'll be good to go.
Well, and as we're all lead generating and lead following up, it's embarrassing to call somebody and then forget what you talked about. Oh, you called me a couple weeks ago. I was like, that's right. How's your dog? I don't have a dog. So just putting all the notes in there about everything is gonna help streamline that process.
Exactly.
Hence, building trust through relationships, right? Any thoughts, comments, questions?
I got a comment.
Yeah.
And it's kind of going back to the original thing that you said up there, and you were listing, I guess, what KW's goals for everybody is. But I think just genuinely caring about somebody and not, I have a money guy that I talk to all the time, and he does this, and then he goes, so how are the dogs here? You get to see it.
Yeah.
So it's just such a turn off. And I understand taking notes, that's completely important, but to maybe look at this stuff ahead of time and then go back to, actually, I'm really concerned about you, Brad. I really want to know how I can help you. And not just check a box. I asked about the kids, I asked about the dogs, I asked about his recent move, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just always being, whatever your business is. I've got business at gas stations. Hey buddy, what's going on, man? I see you're driving so-and-so truck. And I'm actually concerned about that because I'm being nosy and I'm concerned about what other people do because I might want to do it myself someday or something. But it's more of a genuine approach than it is, because I would rather somebody not ask me this and just say, hey dude, you selling your house or not? Than I would have somebody go off and just start checking boxes because it seems so fake.
Yep, make it personable, exactly.
Yeah, well, and absolutely, because you can see right through it when somebody's
Sure.
just like,
Absolutely.
so you went to Costa Rica, how was your trip? Oh, that's right, you have 2 kids, how did, right, I mean, so you either care or you don't.
But it's also always being in that mode. If you're a real estate agent, always be in that mode, no matter if you're out even if you're out at dinner or you're at a gas station or you're somewhere else, it's not necessary. I know there's processes and I know there's things that probably keep us in line as far as following up with people or whatever, but you always have to be, and what your business is, you always have to be in that business mode all the time, even late at night, early in the morning. It's not an 8 to 5, check so many, call so many people and do this. It's always being in that, because you never know.
And that's even when you dig in for somebody's motivation, when you first meet them, you want to care about them, be like, okay, oh, you said you had a dog, what's your dog's name? You have kids?
Sure.
Cool. How old are they?
Sure,
You know,
wear a Raiders hat to see how they did last week, whatever.
Exactly.
But generally be curious about that because you saw the game, not just because you're checking a box.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in a relationship business and most businesses are a relationship
Oh,
business.
yep.
Yeah, right? I mean, whether it's relationships with the consumer or relationships with your employees, your coworkers, everything. So hence, that's how you build trust, right? Is caring and not reading a script,
Sure.
which sometimes we need a script to get us through to the caring.
Yes, so Hayes score is awesome. I'm not sure if any of y'all or everybody knows what it is, but it is not our free schooling. it is an opportunity for somebody to gain access to a scholarship to pay for their schooling. So there's a few things they need to meet, like coming to the career webinar or career night in person or on Zoom. But then we really talk about what their wants are, why they want to get into real estate. We don't really talk about KW that much in the beginning, more towards the end, just letting them know about KW, but this is really just to get back to them and help you guys build your downline, because we're about passive income. We want you to retire in the next 5 years or whatever your goal is. And this is a way to get you there by helping other people become real estate agents and joining KW.
And the nice partnership with the K-Score program, so I used to call it Kaplan School of Real Estate, but it's Keller Successful Career Opportunities in Real Estate. Is we have KW Prep, which is a marriage partner to that, so as they're going along the journey of their 63-hour course, online course here, they're also set up on KW Prep where they do short little modules where they're learning about themselves and business building and building that foundation. And learning about Keller Williams' journey and how we can support them on the way. So not for you guys, it's for everybody you know.
Yeah.
So spread the word.
Yeah, and you can, and with smart plans too, if you have a few people that are in school, you could put them on a smart plan to follow up with, with you guys as well. And then we also tag you in them. So as a referral, and you can see their process, the way we put them through our MC command, you can see the process a little bit. So it keeps you involved.
So you're in the know.
Yep.
You're in the know.
Yeah.
Money, money, money,
Yeah, you wanna
money.
So Money Monday, thank you all for coming out. We had about, I think 6 people from here on yesterday, which is awesome. I really appreciate it. We talked about Command Your Database. Next week, we're talking about, can't really see, something about leads. But it's gonna be, you're gonna wanna come, because I just finished the class I'm going over today. Or going over it. I'm implementing videos too, so it's not just me talking to you guys, asking questions, watching a video, asking more questions. And it's designed to convert graphics, emails, and branding that bring leads. So if you wanna know what that means, come on Monday.
It's on Zoom.
Yeah.
So you guys don't have to leave your couch.
Yep, yeah, if you're in your PJs, that's fine, I don't mind.
Can you click? Yeah. Thank
All
you.
this stuff.
It's 11 o'clock every Monday, it's at 11 o'clock, and it's always available on Zoom. Every other week, it's in person here and also on Zoom.
Yeah.
But it's always about something to utilizing command to build your business.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I'm doing one pager Wednesdays, so any of you that have an interest, tomorrow's one pager Wednesday is how to master, target, and get business from the expireds list. So if you have an interest in working the expireds market, low hanging fruit, then be here tomorrow, 12:30 to 1 before we do the secondary. And home buying seller seminar part 2.
Oh, yeah, yep, last month we had part 1, it was the sellers portion of the seller seminar. This one's going to be the buyers portion of it. It's awesome stuff. If you guys wanna have a little bit more leads come to you, definitely come to the class. It's gonna teach you how to hold a successful buyers seminar. It's something I used to do when I sold, and I loved it. I would go around marketing it to everybody. I think my first one, I had the whole team of Starbucks come to it. I think I'm gonna shut Starbucks down. Yeah, so it was pretty cool, and I'm really passionate about it, and hopefully you show up.
Does anybody here hold seminars, buyer or seller seminars?
I did back in the
When
day.
you say seminar, you mean like a consult?
Like a group of people where you do kind of like a buyer presentation, but to a group. And not a
Oh, as
person.
in like you're teaching people, but not like trying,
Yeah.
they're not your own clients.
Yeah, so I used to do them all the time,
I
and I got a lot of business out of it.
Yeah.
You're just inviting, typically as a first time home buyer, to a seminar, and you're kind of going through, without the deep dive needs analysis, going through the steps.
Yeah.
And we would have snacks, I would have vendors in to come talk about it, they would actually fund the whole thing, and then I always had a big giveaway. Back in the day when I did it, I gave away a big screen TV because they were the thing, and now it's like everybody has one and they're not the thing anymore.
And one thing I used to do in your buyer's consults or strategy sessions, I'm sure you ask them what they're looking for in a home. Well, I have a piece of paper that I would look at or have, and I would hand it out, be like, give me your top 5 wants and your top 5 don't wants. So if you're gonna work with me, we're gonna go over that anyway. So I might as well get that out of the way now, so save my time in the actual meeting.
I did one way back when I very first started, and I feel like I blacked out when I stood up there because I did not realize how many people were gonna be in there. It was an electrician company, so it was all men as well in their little uniforms. And Zoom as well from another whatever part region. And then when I left there, I was like, oh, blew it. Don't even know what I said, like feel like I blacked out. And the owner of the company called me. I helped them find their first house. And then they sold 3 years after that and bought a 1.6. So even
Nice.
one person from just going to, you step outside of your box, get out your head, go do it, because then, I mean, they think of you and they're gonna come to you when they need you.
And you put them on smart plan.
Yeah, and you follow up and you build
Yeah.
that trust and that relationship and nurture, and the same thing happened for me, and if you partner with the right lender that's in the room that can sit and have the conversations, I had several people that weren't credit worthy yet to purchase, and they worked with them on their credit. And 9 months later, I get the call from my lender, hey, Joe and Sue are ready to buy. I'm like, who are Joe and Sue? And because I didn't keep up with them like he did, so don't be a me. And I ended up selling to their brother and sister. I ended up selling to their family. I listed a couple of their homes for them. So one connection can equal a lot. So I would definitely be a part of the seminar process.
And the lender canceled on me that day, so I had to go by myself. But
Oh,
I could have easily just canceled it because I was alone, but I didn't. I went.
But you don't remember because you blacked out. so it's all good.
Exactly. And he gave me all the printouts to hand out, and that's all, enough is what they needed, so.
Perfect. KWA, Friday, May 23rd, 10 to 2. Brian is gonna come in and do this. I'm actually gonna come in and do this along with him. This is the orientation into Keller Williams. So this is something we haven't had on our calendar for several months, and we'll be now having it quarterly. So if you are sitting in this room and you've never been to KWA, I highly encourage, because one thing that I know from Keller Williams for being here for 17 years, a different brokerage for 9 before that, is people come to Keller Williams for everything that they have to offer. They leave Keller Williams because they don't realize how much we have and that we can fill a lot of the holes and the gaps and what you're looking for. And because there's so much, we're not always relaying everything. And this is a massive overview and a deep dive into all of the opportunities and what's accessible through Keller Williams to give you a real understanding and knowledge of the brokerage that you chose to partner with. So, has anybody in here been to KWA before?
Please have it, I've never heard of it before.
Okay,
I have years ago with Brian, I haven't gone recently.
okay, so then everybody else in this room should be there, 23rd, I'm gonna write names
Even
down.
if you've been here for years, you should go, cause I think I had been here already like 3 or 4 years before, and maybe I went more than once actually. Before I went to see, it's two. Attended it with Brian leading it, and it was just really good information to have, especially if you're out there and you're trying to build a downline. Too, because it feeds you information that maybe you really wouldn't even think about using to present to other agents. As resources that we have.
Yep. Thank you for the little plug. Alright. Okay, Millionaire
Oh,
agent
yeah.
follow-up plans.
So one question before I dig into this, does everybody have the Team Up app? One thing I wanted to ask before, so I'll help you download it. We have added social siesta key onto it, so if you see other classes, you're like, oh, where is this? Let me know, but most likely it is siesta keys class, so just so you know, since we're talking about classes.
Good.
Yeah, so we can all share since we're all one big family.
That's kind of like what the KW one was kind of supposed to be way back when, but now we can actually all see it.
Now
Yeah.
it's
Okay,
DLC one,
yeah.
Codes Living Collection one.
But anyway, for this, 72 touch is what the class is about. Not naming 72 touch anymore because people made fun of that. So the Millionaire Agent Follow-Up Plan, if you want to follow up with your clients better than what you're doing now, come to the class and we'll figure it out. The first class, well, this day is going to be from the start. We're gonna build up to, the big thing. So first class, it might feel like you're like, oh crap, I already know this, like, why am I here? Trust me, the build up to the finish, it'll be worth it, so definitely come.
What's the app called?
Team Up.
Team Up. So he'll help you get on it, that's our calendar app.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait every Monday to see what's coming on for the week or every morning for the text.
Yeah, you get 3 days in advance, you can see.
Yeah, and you can scroll down further if you'd like to scroll down further. So we had this class last month and there were all levels of where people were in the 72 touch and it became chaos. So this is gonna be step by step by step by step to implement that follow-up plan, which we're gonna talk about how wildly important that is. And Lindsay, I'm glad you're here because I'm gonna be calling you out. Okay, state of the market on May 29th. So this is when Brian comes, zooms into you guys get copies of the slides, you get the recording. This is really vital information because he goes from a macro view to a micro view. Yeah, he goes from what's the state of the market in the nation, all the way down to Florida, all the way down to our counties and what's happening local. Great stuff to use when you're talking to your clients. Rick is like,
Yeah, I've watched it and printed out, read his stuff and broke down pages of stuff.
Yeah.
Did the chat GPT and
Heck
came
yeah.
up with like 6 different blogs. I haven't posted them yet, but
That's okay.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, and that's who we are, rip off the
yeah, that was
page.
really good.
Yeah, and you can
Good.
scan the QR code to register, you'll get the Zoom link then.
And invite whoever you want to that's in real estate to come listen to this. So this can be open to anybody because it's all just about real estate. Heather is gonna be here doing Career Demystified. So this is just a couple hour class. So we have a process called the Leverage Series, which is career visioning. So that's what we take people through and teach you guys to when you're looking to make a hire on how to find and hire the right talent, train, lead, and motivate them, then succeed through them. This is an abbreviated version of that process. So if you are thinking now or possibly ever in the future about leverage, this is a great class. It's gonna be a great class even if you don't want to build a team or hire anybody for yourself, just to understand the process, but also understand yourself and the inner workings of a team of business. And I'm gonna be in it. I'm not gonna be in doing the class, but I'm gonna be here learning from her. This is the first time I've seen her do this, and she wrote this class, so they just had it in Inglewood and it was
Yeah,
great.
it was awesome.
Okay. Paula, so what do we have Thursday, everybody?
Right there.
Okay. Raise your hand if you are not registered, if you are not signed up for Red Day to participate.
Raise your hand.
Okay,
Not signed up for Red Day, put your hand up.
you're not signed up for Red Day, raise your hand. Okay, this is a great opportunity and right here, if you guys go here and sign up. So this is the one day a year and we're gonna go on to some other slides. Years ago when Gary Keller started Keller Williams Realty International and decided to start franchising it, he reached out and he met with a woman called Mo Anderson. She was running and owning a Century 21 in Oklahoma at the time, and they had a great conversation. Came into business together. She became the CEO of Keller Williams. She is who brought culture to our organization. She is still with Keller Williams, but she's the vice chairman of the board now. She is not in that position yet. To honor her birthday every year, which is May 12th, every Keller Williams on the second Thursday in May, we close down operations for the day and we go out and we give back to the community. So we always have a great time. It's a time for us to come together and not looking over contracts or talking real estate. We're out there giving back to the community that supports us. And we're helping others, of course. So we're paying it forward, we're giving back. And we also have the observer coming like she had talked about. So this is a great opportunity also for you to be present, give back, and then share it with your people, right? Your clients, share it on social media, share it everywhere to show what you do, that you're about real estate, you're about this community, and you're about giving to the community, not just asking for the business from the community. Any thoughts, any final words?
Oh, there's just so much. I'm kind of blown away about how many companies have loved this about Red Day. And even the owner, Mark, was like, I've heard of Keller Williams Red Day before. He remembers like a few years ago, another company like got bikes for children. So he was all in on this, but we're gonna have a lot of vendors there. And I think like all our vendors coming together as well just shows like what like a web of like network that we have within. I think this is gonna be the best one because we do see all Red Day like posting all the stuff they do, and I'm like really proud of ours.
Yeah, and proud too. You guys
Yeah.
are working really, really hard.
We're gonna have
so.
duck donuts for breakfast, so be on time and then the tacos will be there and we can have fun after and who knows, we may end up at a bar after, you know.
Donuts and tacos in one day,
And
come on, guys, if nothing else
Triple
breaks
D.
you. And you're gonna be working, so you'll work off all the calories, so. So Mo's birthday, like we just talked about, she's gonna be 88 this year, and, she's also, part of what brought KW Cares to us, so. We're looking to, raise funds in honor of her birthday because, KW Cares, we give out a lot of grants, annually and monthly and weekly and everything, and I've all helped agents here in this market center apply for grants also. So it's up to us to keep replenishing those funds, and we're just looking for $888 per market center to raise in the month of May. And if we do so, then Mo will join a call with us. So our market center will have one on many call with Mo Anderson that she'll be pouring into us, and I think it's on the next one. Anyone who donates $25 or more, on her birthday, May 12th, so mark that in your calendar, that's Monday. Is Monday the 12th?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. If you donate $25 or more on Monday, 8 people will get a copy of A Joy-Filled Life. So she wrote that book. It's about her journey in life. She was a tenant's daughter, a tenant farmer's daughter, and just everything in the way that she was raised. It's a phenomenal book. Who's read that book? I've read the book.
I have it, I just haven't read it. I think you did it to me.
Well, if you do win it, read it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's worth the read. Okay. All right. I like to put this up at once a month, because KW puts together social assets for you, so you can rip off, duplicate. So if you don't know what to post on social media, they're giving you 30+ days of content for you guys to take and put on social media. And, all right. Bold is coming. Bold is Business Objective Life by Design. It's coming in August. We'll be launching it. We'll be sharing it with several of our market centers in the area. This is a 6-week high intensive course that Gary Keller wrote. And it's nothing like the old Bold. This is Bold Onward. So if any of you have ever taken Bold before, this is completely rewritten, and it has a lot more social media and a lot of different content in it to match the market of the moment and who we are today versus who we were in 2009 when they originally wrote it. We are accepting, if anybody wants to do any prepayment plans, like if you have closings or you want to put money towards it, it's $7.99 for Bold. But the return on investment is great. They say the average agent that takes Bold, and you guys aren't average, but typically does about 11 additional transactions as a result. So you figure even if you did one transaction at $10,000 is going to be quite the return on investment. So if you're looking to build your business in a powerful way with camaraderie and focus, Bold is the key. And then Mega Agent Camp, I know there's one person in this room that's going for sure, and I still will get back to you about the hotels when we pick them.
Yeah, I just want to say everybody, I'm gonna be hotelless.
Book 'em.
Please sleep on the street.
Yeah, you can share a room with me if it came down here.
I snore.
Either Loretta or me will be going, probably Loretta, because the kids start school right.
One of them's coming.
None of us.
Mega Agent Camp is the first event I went to after I joined Keller Williams, and I learned a lot, and I learned so much about one mega agent that was on the stage with Gary Keller about how she built her business and the community that she grew up in. And I reached out to her after. She sent me her whole entire prospectus and everything that she did. She was completely available to me. So just because they're not on stage, they're still Keller Williams and they're gonna answer all your questions, but great networking, learning, getting referrals across the country, meeting other people, learning something from other people that might help you move the needle in your business. And you get to go to San Antonio in August, so. Miss Abigail, come talk to us. She has 20-minute presentation.
Yes, I am your day. So you can't see it too clear, but I'm about to email this out. So we've added some services to what the closings, oh, I forgot about you guys. We've added services. So actually, if you're on the Zoom, you're gonna actually see it better, but I'm gonna email this out to everybody later today. Just trying to expand everything we offer. If you have any recommendations, I'm totally up for it. shoot them my way, we'll see what we can do, but definitely looking forward to you guys checking this out, sending me back any feedback.
What does it say there?
Yeah.
So listing packet, so,
I'm struggling to see it.
I can read you, so listing packet and MLS, so input into command MLS in your listing packet for 140. Contract to close, which you've been doing at 375. Listing contract double-sided, if you have the buyer and the seller.
Yeah, we're doing a cut price for that. So if you do your listing and you bring, well, the buyer to that, so we have all three aspects in a sense. You do get your listing prep work done for free. So to kind of cut that back.
And then new build with compliance and DA is 150, rental input, if you have a rental listing is 150, and then listing paperwork prep, if you just want everything prepared for you before you go onto your listing, then she'll do that and prepare the listing documentation for you.
That one we will, like, when we get to that point, come talk to me, we'll sit down, I'll be like, listen, these are the 2 or 3 things I need from you, so we get it prepped accurately. And we are gonna have a paperwork at the end of it that says like, hey, you reviewed this, you know, so that we were all on the same page, but yeah, trying to make your life a little easier, a little less work for you.
Yes.
What was the reason, and I know I actually mentioned it to you before, but you said that you could not do offers?
I'm
because
not a licensed realtor, so writing all
You
of
could
those
log
details
in
and
and do all
everything.
this other stuff, it just seems
Yeah,
like it's
I secretly could, but then it puts your license at risk too if there's a mistake and it's not
risky.
reviewed, so, yeah, it just keeps it cleaner that way.
$500, I'll do it for you.
Yeah, there you go. She's an agent.
I need you
$500
to
bucks.
mark it out and have a special.
Yeah, we can do that under the table, $500, I'll go get my license.
There you go.
But yeah.
Pay for your license.
Right, exactly, and then some. All right, so this is our market update from the last week. If you guys saw our last team meeting, we had the market update, this was actually flip-flopped. So new listings were up, everything else was down, and then this past week, new listings are down, everything else is up, and our inventory went down. Again, I wanna remind you guys that when I'm pulling these stats, what I'm looking for is single family condo, villa and townhouse. I know a lot of you, when you are doing market stats and you're looking at things, you're only looking at single family. So that's what would increase our active units available. But last week it was over 12,000. Actually a couple weeks ago, it was over 12,000. So we've gone down a bit. Our pendings have gone up, our sold's gone up. New listings are down just by a hair, just by 5%. But our price reductions have gone up and our expireds are up 72%. So if you guys wanna chase this market, One Pager Wednesday tomorrow, come learn the model to do it. And I'm super happy to also start putting back on the calendar before Success Series, and even when that's gone, role playing around that. Because I hear a lot from agents that want to get into the for sale by owner market, or they want to explore the expired market. They're like, well, everybody's doing it, everybody's calling, which very well could be, right? You could probably have a lot of people that are calling them, but what are they saying? There's a certain language of real estate, there's a way to overcome objections and the conversation to have to get the appointment. And that's the whole purpose, is get in the door, not sell yourself on the phone. So, any thoughts on the market? Any thoughts on what you might say to your clients, or if you put this on social media?
Where do you find for sale by owners and expires?
So expireds in the MLS, and you can take your time and go through Realist and look for the expired phone numbers. There's a lot of different apps and services that you can look up their phone numbers as well. For sale by owners, right now, Zillow is still putting out the for sale by owners out there, and that's the best way. I did hear from a birdie that might go away, which is great for us because there's less ways for them to be able to market. If that truly happens, where Zillow's not gonna allow for sale by owners to advertise on their page, yet it's gonna limit us on getting the data and finding the numbers and the addresses. So that's where you go for that.
I'm sorry, I'm new to the FSBOs. Are you saying that Zillow is your best option for looking at those and finding a resource online?
So for finding their phone numbers and their address, that's exactly where I always went when I did for sale by owners. When I was up in Illinois doing them, we had forsalebyowner.com.
Yeah.
Things like that. I'm not sure how big that is down here. But that's where I always went, and I kept a list and I tracked it on that way. Yeah.
My sponsor sends me an update every.
Perfect, love you.
Mhm.
I used to subscribe to Land Voice and they would send me for sale by owners and expireds every month. Before that, when it was free, I did whitepages.com to get the
Yeah.
phone numbers.
Come on.
It's not free anymore and I'm not sure what the cost is on that, but there's ways.
It's
there's
like
ways to
30
do it.
bucks a month, but then they limit you on how many numbers, and then you have to pay more, and then they'll still limit you on how many you get.
So, Land Voice is like around $90 or so a month and it gives you all the for sale by owners and expireds and the zip codes that you prefer. Okay, so just don't call people that you're not supposed to if they're on the do not call list, so you don't get in trouble. We're gonna talk a little bit about the lead gen model. So we were talking about building trust and earning the relationship through consistency. So this here, if you guys, does everybody have the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book? Okay, and oh, perfect. Okay, and unlike Paula in the Joy-Filled Life, are you guys reading it? Okay, sorry, Paula, I love you.
Live under the bus.
You
So-
need to bring your flowers next time.
Yes, I'll bring you flowers. I will fly you out that
See
way.
how it is.
So, starting on page 133, that is where you start making money. Before that, the economic model is where you start thinking about what you want real estate to provide for you financially in the next 12 months. And how you're going to do it is through the lead gen model. So on page 133 is where we start talking about positioning. So the purpose of this lead gen model is so you are the number one or number two real estate that comes to mind when people think about real estate. If you're not one or two, you're out, right? And there's nothing wrong with being number two because historically, the average is annually 30% of the realtors are getting out of business. 30% more are coming in behind on the other side of the door. Yet, one thing that we know, and this has been proven in my real estate career, is that even if you're number two, if somebody in your database says, well, I always work with Rebecca Adams, she's my go-to realtor. But maybe Rebecca Adams isn't marketing if she's not calling them, she's not texting them, she's not sending them postcards, she's not sending them emails or anything. Pretty soon, I'm gonna wonder if Rebecca Adams is even in business anymore, right? But if I'm the one, the other Rebecca Adams, that's doing all of those things, sorry, I used my name, and I'm like, I'm still me. Doing all the things, then all of a sudden, they think of me first when it comes to real estate. And this is where I wanted to call you out, Lindsay, because when we did our top performers last month, you were sharing about a client of yours that said they see you everywhere.
Yes.
So, and I had asked you how many billboards you were on.
I'm actually looking into that.
So tell us how they see you everywhere.
So I just sent out this, and I was on Saturday, I was on event. I have a giveaway going on. And I was at an event and had a friend walk up to me and I knew they were gonna move this year. And he goes, phone calls, text messages, emails, postcards, you're relentless, Lindsay. And so what happened for me is like maybe a year plus now ago, I kept hearing over and over and over and over and over the mega agents talking about database. And I realized that I wasn't focused on my database at all. And so I shifted my lead generation model from YouTube, which surprised a lot of people because everyone wants to do YouTube, and poured all of my investment into my database. And so I have campaigns that go off. I have a monthly newsletter. I do giveaways like 4 or 5 times a year. I do 2 in-person events. Now I'm farming a neighborhood, which is basically the exact same model I'm doing now, only now I'm just picking a specific neighborhood, and that's my other database. I don't make as many phone calls as I used to, but I focus on my VIPs. Those are the people I call that I care about the most. And I get constant repeat referrals, and that's been, I mean, literally, if I look at all my deals this year, they have been referrals, repeats. And I'm looking to try to pick up new listings this year, and that's why I decided I needed to farm. And I picked a neighborhood that's actually like 50% seasonal renters, because those people are looking to buy. So I'm gonna hopefully be able to list the property in the neighborhood and the seasonal renters buy, so I'll double in more transactions. That's my goal.
I love it. Great strategy. You know, so the one thing that we do when we get into real estate is we tell everybody we're in real estate and then we expect them to remember we're in real estate, right? It's not their job to remember. I don't know, half my friends' husbands do, to tell you the truth. But two instances that I'm gonna bring up to you guys that's really good things to help you understand how important it is, regardless if it's your sister, your brother, your best friend, your cousin, your whatever, that you market to everybody. So years ago, every weekend in the summer, well, pretty much every weekend, I would go over to my best friend's house, and in the summertime, we would go swimming, so after I was done with an open house, or I was done showing homes, or I was done, you know, on a listing, I would go up on the deck, say hello to everybody, I was in my realtor gear, had my name badge on, I'm like, hey, gonna go put my suit on, I'll be back out, whatever. One day I pulled into the driveway and I look over at the neighbor Jeff's house and there's a real estate sign in his yard for sale. Jeff is on that deck every weekend when I go there. And I walk up and I'm like, they're like, hey, Rebecca, and I'm like, looking right at Jeff, I'm like, Jeff, what's going on? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, there's a real estate sign in your yard. I'm like, I didn't even get an opportunity. He's like, Rebecca, I didn't even think that you do real estate. He's like, we hang out, you know, we just hang out here. And I'm just like, I wasn't mad at Jeff, I was mad at me. Because he thinks of me as Shelley's best friend that comes over on the deck and we swim and you know what I mean? We just hang out and we do stuff on the weekends. I never talked to them about real estate, they just knew I had showings, but Jeff isn't thinking what I do all the time. Cause I don't think about what Jeff does all the time, when I would be at Shelley's during the week and see him come home from work, right? So I learned my lesson, or so I thought, and then I moved to Florida and went back into agent business for 2.5 years. Didn't know anybody in the area except my nephew, who him and his fiance were renting in St. Pete, and I was up in North Pinellas County. Didn't market to him, didn't market to my sister, and my sister called me one day and she's like, oh, I'm so excited, I gotta tell you, Romano and Donna just got an accepted offer on a condo. I'm like, huh? I'm like, why am I excited about this? You know, and I'm like, Julie, hello, and I didn't market to my sister either, I didn't market to my nephew, I didn't market to them. It is not their fault to remember what I do for a living all day. It is ours, right? So if your best friend's neighbor or your nephew or whoever buys or sells real estate without you, think to yourself, am I marketing to them? And it's not being salesy, it's not anything like, it's reminding them over and over and over. Lindsay's people are like, I see you everywhere, and she's not everywhere except where they are. She's coming to them through phone calls, emails, texts, postcards.
You guys talked about trust earlier, and trust can be built in different ways, and I have this one client who I think about monthly now. I get a referral from her and I've converted probably half of them. And I mean, if she so much as sneezes, I'm sending her a bouquet of flowers. I mean, one day she's on the phone with me telling me she's having to go get a cataract surgery. I had the biggest bouquet delivered by the time she got home from her cataract surgery. And about a week or two later, I got a referral from her, and then I've converted them since. Like, it's my way of showing her that I appreciate her, and she's right back at it appreciating me. Like, it just becomes this constant relationship that we have. And it's super simple. It's just me showing her that I appreciate her in just a different way, right? Like, she probably doesn't get flowers from anybody. You know what I mean? She's 70 years old, and I'll take her to lunch every once in a while, you know, and we don't have a lot to talk about. But it's just the fact that I'm making her feel special, and that's what they want. Your people that want to love on you is if you love on them, that's all it is.
It's just a love language.
It is.
100%, and it's like, you know, doesn't it make you feel good, when somebody reaches out and just says, hey, I was thinking about you? You know, and I was intentional for a period, now that I think about it, I'm gonna get back to it, being intentional. That when I would think about somebody, I'd actually pick up the phone and just say, I was thinking about you. My old broker that I hired up north years ago, I was thinking about her one day, and I just called to say, hey, I was just thinking about you, and she's like, oh, what's going on, what do you need? I'm like, nothing, I was truly just thinking about you. It made her day. But you know, it's things like that, when you're just thinking about people, that's how you earn those relationships, that trust, so they know, like, and trust you.
I'll tell you something real quick. I
Yeah.
used to do this. I had my alarm set up. If I remember correctly, it was 10 a.m. every day at 10 a.m. I would text either sometimes my mom, sometimes my sister, whatever it would be, or somebody at work. A lot of times it's people in the office. They might be right down the hall. And I'd always say something about, hey, man, you know, saw you the other day, you looking good, buddy. It makes my dude, everybody, and these people, I mean, they would literally rob a bank for me, because I talked about them all the time.
That's all.
Yeah,
Excuse me, but yeah, I would talk about them all the time, but it was something it's interesting to do, it's.
Yeah,
because I'm trying
it's
to
being
remember what you're saying.
intentional, and sometimes being intentional is reminding us to be intentional,
Yeah.
right? Because I actually had on my calendar for 6 p.m. in the evenings, when I moved back to Illinois, my boyfriend came with me to tell him a month how much I appreciated him. Because I was so driven at work and everything else was going on, I kind of just took for granted that he came all the way to Illinois with me, you know, so I'm like, remind him you like him, you know? So,
How'd that go? How'd that go?
yeah, we're still together,
Okay.
we're still together, I just don't remind my. So there is a way to build your database, and who here in this room wants to continue to hunt for new business every single day for the rest of your life? Who here wants a repeat and referral business that's duplicatable, sustainable, and growing, right? Okay, so for those that are not from here, or maybe don't have a massive network, we're gonna have to hunt and build in the meantime, and there's ways to do it. So you have 4 categories. You have your haven't met group, so that's like the general public, right? And then you have your target haven't met group. You also, then you have your met group, and then you have your allied resources, which is your core group of people, or as Lindsay calls them, her VIPs, right? So you can take this rather than just the general public in the whole United States or Florida or Manatee County. Does anybody in here have a hobby? Golf. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna use golf. So if we use this as the general public of golf, so you're probably never gonna meet everybody that plays golf in Florida or Manatee or Sarasota County. Yet, you can figure out a way to market to them, right? Because you have something in common, and people like to do business with people that have the same likes, interests, wants, and desires. You probably go to the same golf course, 1 or 2 or 3 golf courses all the time. So those people at those golf courses that you don't know, now you can target, like, my goal is every time I go to this golf course, I wanna walk away earning 2 more relationships, getting them into my database. Every time I go to this one, I want 2 more. So you can be intentional about building those relationships. You guys have something in common, right? You can go and set up a tea time. I'm trying to remember the lingo. Set up a tea time for a foursome, but you only have 2, and just say throw any other 2 with us, because you just wanna earn and learn and get to know other people. And then there's the Met group that you golf with all the time, or you go, when you go to the bar after and have a beer, or you go have lunch, the same people that you talk to over and over, they should all be in your database. And then you have the foursome, you have the people that you're always golfing with, you always see, you always plan on meeting there on Thursdays at 3 o'clock.
Go as a single.
There you go.
Go as a single.
Yeah.
And then you jump in with 3.
I would have 3 enemies because they'd be like, she's holding us up. So there's different ways to stay in communication in that, but if you're intentional and purposeful about the things you like to do anyways, and building your database that way, and can go the same for, well, when we get to your funnels, but it's building your database and then solidifying those relationships over time in a purposeful, methodical method. Any questions on that? Does anybody have questions on this mentality of how you're building your database and focusing? Okay, so this is the lead gen funnel, the database model, okay? So the Met database that we talked to, if you made a contact with them, and this is on page 143 of the Millionaire Real Estate book. So you made a contact with them, and then we have some methods to follow up. We're not gonna deep dive into the 8x8, the 36 touch, and the 12 direct today, but we will in the next couple of team meetings this month, because I want to focus on this and focus on this hard. When you go to an open house, or you hold an open house, and people come into the open house and they've given you their contact information, which equals permission to reach out. Then you want to put them on your 8x8. And for all of those that are going to, and I hope it's everybody in this room, that are going to the 72, the Millionaire Database Builder, whatever that's called. Put your 8x8 together ahead of time, and that's 8 touches over 8 weeks, and that's to earn the relationship with the opportunity to put them in the database to follow up systematically and consistency with that 36, 72 touch, however many touches you deem is appropriate for your database. And your 8x8 can be super simple. In the book, it talks about sending them something, doing a pop by, calling, emailing them, things like that. It can be a phone call, a text, a phone call, a text, a phone call, and text, as long as you're purposeful, you have a message that earns a response and gets them over into the category of now we can put them into our database management program of the 33 touch, 36 touch, 72 touch. And over time, this is when you get repeat business from them or referral business from them because you put yourself in that position of number 1 or number 2 in their mind. Does that make sense? Any questions? Great. The haven't met database, the ones that you guys are going to target because you haven't met them, this is the golf course community and this is whatever community, maybe. I don't like to use church because I just think it's probably not good to take church directory and start marketing to them. But other communities, right? I say no church, no funerals, nothing like, we probably don't market there. But it's the 12 direct, it's like Lindsay is farming a neighborhood, she was very intentional about what neighborhood she selected to farm, but if you're farming, a 12 direct is 1 mailer a month, every single month for 12 months, and then do it again. And you'll start seeing business come out of it within 24 months. Sometimes sooner, sometimes it takes a full 24 months, but you have to be consistent over time.
So we're doing a 3-2-1 approach. We got it from my coach, is coaching someone else who did this farm program. And I'm actually doing a 3-3-3-2-1 because we're in the off season and you're supposed to do this in line season. So we're doing 3 postcards a month, 3 postcards a month, 3 postcards a month, 2 postcards a month, 2 postcards a month, 1, 1, 1, 1. So she can, in her first year, she got 11 listings. Her second year, she got 23. And then I think as of when I talked to her about 6 weeks ago, she had already closed 24 from her farm doing this approach.
How big farm she has?
I think she says do at a minimum 1,200, and the farm that I have is, the whole neighborhood is 1,500, so the whole neighborhood.
Well,
It's $1 a postcard, and so it's $1,500, but if she got 11 listings her first year, and it's costing her $1,200 a month, 1 listing paid for all of that, so it's, yes, you have to put money up, and I know that's scary, but at the same time, the minute you got that 1 listing, it's really already paying for itself, as long as you're, pricing the listing right and all of those other things, but yeah, I mean, to me.
Think you can start smaller?
I mean, I'm doing.
Magic in that, I think.
I'm just going off, I mean, if you want smaller results, I guess, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you, the playbooks exist for, a reason, and,
well, and Gary Keller said, if you're gonna do the farming method and not that approach, but the farming method, start out with 1 to 200. And when you earn your first piece of business, then add another 100. And so you can.
Like the ranch, so I'm doing like 112 in Parish because it's new and there's nobody there yet.
Well, and so we also need to be strategic and methodical about it too. What is the turnover in that neighborhood? Does somebody already have market share? Which,
correct.
even if they do, it's just gonna take you a little longer to bump
What percentage
it.
of market share do they have, because there's some that you just won't be able to, you will never break in, you can do all you want.
But what Lindsay's doing with that approach, which the model that she's followed, what they do with that approach is she's like, and she's making sure that her mind share is there. She's like embedding herself in because they're not realizing, most likely, I just got a postcard from her last week, they'll probably be like, she's everywhere.
And it doesn't really matter what a postcard is,
No.
like, don't spend a lot of time on the postcard, they're gonna throw it right away, it's all about my face being on the postcard, my face, my face.
Just an example of what you're sending.
And then when they realize.
Template from Core Fact, I mean, we're not doing anything special, we're just filling in on Core Fact.
Souls.
No, it's
No.
just a.
So this isn't your just listed, just
It's
sold.
spring, you should do this, and like, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm telling you, she said that had no impact on it at all.
Because she becomes a household name because they see Lindsay coming in, Lindsay, and they're gonna throw it away, and then, oh my gosh, you know what, we're thinking about selling. We just got Lindsay's postcard, and now they're gonna call and they'll save one, so.
I'll be the simple jerk about this right here, it's literally a joke, it's a joke. don't take me out for this, I'm just giving you my opinion, but it's literally a joke in our community to, hey buddy, I'm out of town for 2 weeks and you go get all the realtor places out of my, you get all the realtor mailers out of my. Because we get 10 a day and 30 throughout the week, and they're all experts in my community. It's a couple hundred houses. We got 30 experts in my neighborhood, you know? And it becomes almost like a joke. It's like, hey man, throw all that shit away, get it out of my mailbox, because I know that's the only thing that's being sent. And I'm not saying it doesn't work at all, but I'm just saying that sometimes it gets overdone to where, you know, we don't even read them, we just grab them and toss them.
It
in the
really
trash.
depends on the neighborhood and where you're at, right?
Yeah.
Cause in my neighborhood right now, we have a high turnover and I'm getting no postcards. I should really honestly be farming my own neighborhood, cause no one is dominating it at all, but I don't want to because it doesn't fit this program and so I don't want to. So I've picked this very specific neighborhood that no one is dominating and I am very surprised about it. Maybe there's a reason and I haven't figured it out yet. You know, but I think I know where you live, and I can imagine every agent in there would want them to farm that area, right? Because they're high price points and things of that nature, so.
Well, and how many of them have been doing it for years and years, and how many are just trying it for 6
Right.
months and then stopping?
Correct.
But yeah,
There's not a lot of that.
So the 12 direct, the farming is not for everybody.
It's not.
Really, it's absolutely not. There are so many other ways to get business, and when you have different pillars of your business running smoothly and they're systematic, then you can look at farming,
Correct.
right? But it's been an investment for the return, and it's consistency, it's patience, and it's not quitting before the miracle happens, because it's not an overnight success, it's a journey.
Correct.
So when you focus on the habit, not farming, whatever it is you choose, you start getting new business out of that, then they go into your Met database and then they go through the same journey as well. So it's very systematic, and you guys joined Keller Williams for a reason, and one of the reasons is training, building a great business so you can have a great future and a great life. And it's super simple. You just implement the systems and follow the models. And that's what we're here to help drive into you and help support you guys in getting those in place, so you don't have to recreate the wheel and figure out, okay, just close a deal, now where does the next one come from? Angela?
Going back to where we were talking about a minute ago, can I ask, how do you do like the meetings that have turnover? Where do we find that?
In the MLS.
And I mean, I'm just not thinking right now. And so what are we looking for that question?
So pull up whatever neighborhood you're interested in and look at how many have sold, how many homes are in the neighborhood in the past 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, how many homes are selling, what percentage of that neighborhood is selling. And I wouldn't go less than 15%. I would, 15% turnover annually. And then the same, if you have an agent in there that's doing 10 to 15% of the business in the neighborhood, it's not impossible, it'll just take more time.
The neighborhoods I looked at, there's not like hardly anybody that's not even done a couple in a row, they're all different, so I think that's good.
Well, make sure you're sending your postcards to the same people with the same message. The just listed and just sold, to me, I never did those. I would rather door knock 20 doors consistently around my just listed and sold than send postcards out, a one-time shot.
But all these HOAs, you can't door knock.
Then I would pick a different neighborhood.
Huh?
I would pick a different neighborhood.
Yeah.
If you don't have access,
That's Tatiana's job, we're doing it Friday.
all right,
Not the stuff to do.
all right, any thoughts? Did you guys learn anything today?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Well, you guys have a fantastic week, and Brad will be your cruise director next Tuesday, because I will be at Hawks with my family. So have a fantastic day, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Zoomers.
Are you going?
Well, we'll see.